Hello, my Tubies, my Teletubbies. It's me, Sheila Truelove, and today's discussion is going to be about love bombing. As you see, I'm laying down in my bed because I don't know, that's what I do when I'm tired and I'm watching some shows, and I say, you know what? This will be great to share with my Tubies, my Teletubbies. So I want you to see the name of this show is called For My Man. The things that women confuse with being love, and it's not love, it's pretty much codependency or infatuation. Now, anytime someone is asking you to do something that's not in harmony with the Bible or that is going against Yahweh and Jesus Christ, that's crazy. That's a no-brainer for me. You want me to rob banks? You want me to kill somebody or set somebody up for drug deals? Oh, come on now. But when you look at this show called For My Man, I think this is I don't know what season this is, but look at the extremes that these females go, all because these guys love bomb them. And when I say love bombing them, I'm talking about these guys in the beginning. They took these women to five-star restaurants. They had these nice flashy cars, but the women didn't realize that these cars was rented. You can always tell a car that is rented by looking at the back, the license plate on the back, and there's letters on the left hand side. You could tell whether it's rented or not. But these men were taking them shopping and all of this because it was a setup. It's called love bombing. And I'm good for the love bombing. Let me tell you. Let me tell you how Sheila True Love work. I'm going to hang with you as long as you want to take me to five-star restaurants, you want to spend money on me. But then after that love bombing comes, then they're going to start to ask you for favors. As long as they're not asking me to do something that's against the Bible, and they're not asking me for money, then I would definitely take it into consideration. You ask me for money, you ask me for something that I know is going to be spitting in God and Jesus Christ's face, that ain't happening. Don't ask me to do something that Jesus Christ wouldn't do. But that's where these women, they fell short because they didn't have a certain upbringing. So anyway, let's check this out.
She hopes their time alone together will bring them closer.
She was in love. This was her dream guy.
But when her man
Let's clear this up. She was not in love. She was infatuated and she was codependent. Because you can never be in love with someone else if you don't first love yourself. And I think all of us are sick of hearing that because I get sick of saying it. I get tired of saying it. How are you going to say that because I loved him? How did you love him? Like when I look at divorce court, why did you put up with all of this stuff that this character did to you? There's nothing in it for you. What does he bring into the table? And these women have got to admit nothing. Well, no, so why are you the number one answer? Because I love him. And if I'm ready, look, if I was Judge Lynn, I'm going to ask you this question. And before you answer it, you're not allowed to say because I love him. Now, why are you really putting up with this bullery? Because you need to be in a program. You need counseling and you need a support group, honey, called codependency or infatuation nonsense. Somebody's treating you badly, disrespecting you, and you're still there. That's not love, baby. Love does not work like that. God is love, and God would never do those kind of things to a person. Never.
her in on his devilish plan, her weekend full of romance spirals into a deadly nightmare.
He didn't want any witnesses. He wanted to identify him and Leslie as being a part of the robberies.
The only way that she was going to survive this was to do exactly what Michael said.
And late, hoping to turn her life around, Erica Shepard moves in with her brother in Houston, Texas, after a tumultuous relationship with her ex.
That was the place that she thought she would be safe.
But when a friend asks for a favor, her fresh start quickly fades as danger's shadow lurks in the horizon.
They snuck into Marilyn's apartment and hid, armed with knives.
There is blood everywhere. It's the most grisly kind of
Oh my
murder you
God.
can imagine, and within just a couple of minutes, they will die. Single parent home.
Leslie was a handful for her mother. She struggled to raise Leslie on her own.
Her mother was super strict. And because of that, they butted heads a lot.
Sometimes a parent's divorce may result in the kids acting out badly because they may blame either the mom and or dad for the marriage ending.
The preteen constantly defies her mom's authority. And
You heard what they said? This preteen constantly defies her mother's authority. What did they say? Mother's authority. And that's why she's going to end up the way she's going to end up. Because like the Bible says, the first command with a promise. Is it be obedient or submissive to your husband? Is that what's going to help things go well for you? Nope. Is that the first command with a promise? Nope. The first command with a promise is for you to honor and to value your parents. Watch how you treat your parents, honey. Because I know that there was some relationships that I was involved in, and Jehovah helped me to get out. He helped me. Jesus Christ, I know Jehovah uses Jesus to get things done. Jesus Christ got me up out of it. I see other women who are stuck. They're afraid to leave. They don't know how to leave. But Jesus Christ, he pulled me up out of mine. Okay? These bastards were abusive. And let me tell you why Jesus put me up out of mine. Because I was going to kill somebody. I'm going to jail. I would end up in jail. So it's better that, thank you, Yahweh, at using your son, Jesus Christ. Because, honey, dudes putting me through all this crap that I see these women going through, I can't do it. I can't do it. No, I couldn't do it. But a lot of these women are trapped in these relationships because Jesus Christ is not trying to help them get out. Because a lot of these women deserve to be abused. A lot of them have such wicked hearts, and Satan, the devil, have such a hold on them. Jehovah sends his son Jesus Christ to help those who have an honest heart, those who care about the truth, those who love the truth, and those who care about right and wrong. And when you don't care about the truth or right and wrong, Jesus Christ is going to leave you right where you're at. Now watch what happens. This mother, she was very defiant. Her mother was not a drug addict, an alcohol person, a prostitute, selling drugs. Her mother was a decent woman. And when she saw that her daughter was in trouble, she was ready to send her away to a Lutheran training camp or a Lutheran church. But the daughter, of course, defiant, hard-headed, and she's going to reap what she sowed. All of these kids who treat their parents badly, they're going to reap what they sow. It may take 10, 15, 20 years, but honey, keep your faith alive, honey. They're going to reap for the way they treat their parents.
tries to escape any chance she gets.
Her mom kept looking for her when she would run away. And there were times Leslie would run away for days, weeks, and sometimes months.
She tried everything she could. She even paid to send Leslie to a private Lutheran school, and she got kicked out of that school.
You heard what they just said? This mom, she tried everything that she could. And this girl, she still got kicked out of Lutheran school or anything decent. She still got kicked out because that girl, she has a rotten heart. That has nothing to do with the way her mother was bringing her up or something that was lacking in the parent, or you got to parent your parents. Oh no, it had nothing to do with that. It had to do with this girl's heart condition.
Able to discipline her child, the frustrated parent gets fed up with the troubled teen and relinquishes her parental rights.
Good.
Leslie's mom sent her to a juvenile facility until she reached legal age, really hoping that this experience would wake up Leslie to really begin to live a better life.
Parents may end up taking drastic measures to discipline their kids, especially if they feel that nothing really works.
But the time spent in the juvenile facility makes little impact on Leslie. When she's released at the age of 19, she has to find ways to fend for herself, even if it means getting in trouble.
Leslie worked at different odd jobs in order to maintain a sustainable lifestyle. She had friends that she could go to for support, but she was really on her own.
Once she got out, you would think that she would be on the straight and narrow, but she had a run-in with the law when she attempted to cash a forged check and got busted for that.
I believe that Leslie continued to act out even after she was released from the detention center because that's all she knew. She continued to be rebellious.
That's not all that she knew because she came from a good household. She did that because her heart is corrupt. She is very rebellious. She's defiant. She is disobedient to her parents. That's why she did what she did.
Leslie's tryst with the law only earns her a slap on the wrist. But it's enough of a wake-up call for her to start to get a job and earn money the right way to support herself. The tides don't change for the next few years until, at 24, she meets 30-year-old Michael Schofield while taking a stroll one afternoon.
He was driving down the street and he spotted Leslie, so there had to be something that he liked about what he saw, so he pulled up and started talking to Leslie.
Michael was a soft-spoken, handsome furniture salesman.
The type of man that Leslie was attracted to had a tough persona, kind of like that bad boy image. So I believe that his tough persona drew him more to her.
But what she doesn't know is that she's not the only woman in his life.
She never really had a steady relationship, so when she met Michael, I think she thought she may have hit pay dirt at that point.
Shortly after they start dating, the only thing she has to worry about. Michael has a
And that's what actually happened when it came to my daughter. She met some character who was old enough to be not her grandfather or her father, her great-great-grandfather, whatever. She thought she struck gold. My daughter's PTSD started when she started dating. She sits up here and try to tell me, oh, your drinking caused me PTSD. No, it didn't. When she started dating these dudes out here, that's when her PTSD started. Carlton was number one, broke her heart. She's in her bedroom trying to commit suicide, taking aspirin. Go figure that one out. But anyway, and after that, she was so brokenhearted because Carlton, I loved Carlton though. I really did, because the man was honest. He was a Capricorn like me. And I sat him down in my kitchen. We had a heart-to-heart. I sat him down in the room with me, just him and me alone. We had a heart-to-heart, and he was honest. He was very honest. But he's the one who took my daughter's virginity without marriage, okay? And she thought that was supposed to be the end-all to be-all. And yet Carlton was making it very clear that I am not ready to settle down for some one woman. He made that clear, but she thought that she was going to be the one to come along and tame the tiger. Yeah, okay, what about that? No, that wasn't happening. So she saw him in a supermarket that they both worked in together. He had other women. That broke her heart. She was suicidal. So in the process of that, she met this old geezer who was old enough to be, listen to me, Tubies, when I tell you, old enough to be her great-great-grandfather. Okay? Then she ends up getting pregnant from this old-ass man. His sperm ain't no good because it's old sperm. I have a granddaughter, not even my granddaughter, I don't even want to call that my granddaughter, but she's autism because the sperm was old. It was old and whatever. So she got this kid, daughter of hers, that's autism. He treated her badly, choking her, putting his hands on her. That's where all her PTSD came from. It had nothing to do with me. Okay? I don't, there are things that every parent wish that they could have done better because we're not perfect. You have good days, you have bad days, just like any other human being. At the same time, I tell myself, you know what? If I would have gave my son and my daughter to their father, if I would have just, how some parents, they just take the kids and leave them on the father's doorstep, and then the mother would have just left. Do you think that my son and my daughter would be God-fearing, respecting, God-fearing, Jesus Christ? Well, they used to be God-fearing and Jesus Christ followers, but now they're so terrified of elders and governing body, so they worshiping that crap. But when they were on my watch, they were God-fearing son and daughter. Do you honestly believe that if I would have left those kids with their daddy, let me tell you what my daughter would have been. My son would have been also. They would have both been on crack, heroin, or weed. My daughter, with her personality, let me tell you, she would have had her teeth knocked out. Because these street women, they're not trying to hear what my daughter have to say. Not really. She don't know the streets. And then she's a Taurus. She got so many planets in Taurus. So she's stubborn as hell. She could be wrong about something, but she doesn't have humility because she's very, very stubborn. Even when I know, see me, I don't have that kind of thing going on. When I know I'm wrong, I know how to humbly apologize. I know how to take accountability and responsibility for my behavior without doing the blame game. If my son and my daughter were raised by their daddy, this is why Sheila True Love, man, I'm not losing no sleep at night because I know, thanks to Jehovah God, Yahweh, and Jesus Christ, I did the best that I could do with my situation. And you have to keep in mind, I didn't sign on to be a single parent. I was married. I lost my virginity with my husband, the way the Bible says I'm supposed to. Okay? I was married.
As a dark.
Meaning that when I decided to have children, God knows I didn't even want kids. But anyway, my mother said that I was selfish for not wanting kids, but whatever. Okay, so I had the kids, actually. I had them mainly for my mother. But I had these kids, and I knew damn well that I'm not having no kids out of wedlock. That is so not going to happen to Sheila True Love. My morals, it was too high. And of course, that was where I was raised, thanks to my mom, because she went through a lot of things in her life that she didn't want to see me go through. So I did everything to please my mother. I wanted to make my mother proud of me. So I did the marriage thing with the virginity, losing your virginity with your husband. I did the having children with my husband. Both my children are from the same father. At the same time, my point that I'm trying to make, let me tell you something. If I would have left those kids with their daddy, let me tell you what their father said. That really, I think about him every single day, Tubies. Every single day. My kids say, oh, you're trying to make us feel guilty. I'm not trying to make nobody feel guilty. I'm just trying to express to you how I feel. You know what I mean? How I feel. When their father walked off and didn't look back, you know what his justification was? I'm not giving up my life for these kids. He said, Sheila, because they're not going to give up their life for you. They're not going to give up their life for me. They're not going to give up their life for me. He's a heroin addict and a crackhead, but he's happy. He's happy as fuck. Guess what? He has good days and he has bad days. We don't do heroin and drugs. I don't. My kids don't either. At least not when they was on my watch. What they do while they're out there crazy, away from their mom or whatever, that's on them. But even though he's using heroin or crack, he has good days where he's happy as fuck. And then he has days when he's down and out. Isn't that the same thing we have? But my point is, every single day that I wake up, I think about Felix. and I think about the way my children treat me, they're not going to give up their life for me. Why should I give up my life for them? And then I also keep thinking about how his Mercury was in Scorpio. His Mercury. Scorpio somewhat is psychic. He knew how these kids was going to grow up. He knew that they was going to turn their back. He knew that. I was the one with stars in my eyes. I was the one that was raised as a Jehovah's Witness, living in the bubble land. And now I'm sitting up here living in reality. And reality is this. My kids, man, the way they treat me is sickening. It's sickening to anybody who's Asian or African or even Puerto Rican or Hispanic. They would throw up with the way my kids treat me. They treat me like I'm dead. Why? They come up with a bunch of excuses about this and that. No, it's not about that. The reason why they genuinely treat me this way is because I speak out against the Jehovah's Witness organization. And they're terrified. They're sitting up here saying, let's wait. Let's see if she's going to be an alcoholic or commit suicide or a drug addict. My kids are waiting for my demise. Now tell me that's not sad. That's not sickening. My brother is waiting for my demise. Everybody is waiting for Sheila True Love to fall. They want to see me fall. Why? So they can say, that's what happens when you leave the organization. Show me one Jehovah's Witness or any Jehovah's Witness that you've ever heard of that when someone leaves this organization, these people want to see you be successful. They don't want me to be successful. They don't want to see me. They don't ever want to see me happy. Now, this is my son and my daughter. Shouldn't they want to see their mother happy? They don't. They don't want to see me happy. They want to see me fall. They want to see me homeless. They're doing everything. Let me tell you what my son and my daughter is doing. They're doing everything to see if I could drink myself to death. And for a while, Tubies, I got to keep it real with you. You've been with me through this journey. There was times when I made videos when I was drinking more than I should have. And yeah, I did. Because I was hurting.
Violent past.
I was hurting. So, I was drinking to try to make the pain go away or try to numb the pain or whatever. But you know what? It's a brand new day. This is March 5th, 2020. And I'm not going to give them the satisfaction of seeing me become an alcoholic because that's what they're hoping for. How sad is that? I'm their mother, man. I'm your mother. I'm the reason why you're here on this earth. Your father may have created you, but I'm the one who decided not to abort you or kill you, and I kept you here. I gave you life. Thanks to Jehovah God, I take nothing from him or Jesus Christ. But by means of Jehovah and Jesus Christ, I am your mother. And you should treat me like a queen. Like a freaking queen. Especially when you have a mother who's on God and Jesus Christ team. It don't get no better than that. It don't get no better. Okay? But I have a son and a daughter who is sitting around here hoping for my demise. Check this out. Like Robert, my ex-husband. He used to constantly keep digging a hole hoping that I would fall in that hole. And guess what happened? How good Jehovah is and how good Jesus Christ is. He fell in the hole. Every time he kept digging a hole for me to fall in, he fell in it. So I give warning to my son and my daughter, my brother, and all these Jehovah's Witnesses who are sitting around here waiting for my demise. You're hoping that I become a drug addict. You're hoping and praying and prancing around that I become an alcoholic. You want to see me become promiscuous or be a drug pusher, or you want to see me end up homeless. You want to see me in jail. You want to see me all effed up. Why? Let's talk about why. Let's keep it real here. You want to see all these rotten things happen to me so you can say, See what happens when you leave the organization? My daughter especially is hoping for my demise. So she could tell her son and her daughter, see what happens? Why? Because she wants to keep her son and daughter trapped in this cult. She's terrified of her son and daughter going out into the real world and knowing how to handle it, because she keeps thinking that her son and daughter is going to end up like her. But if you raise your son and your daughter to work on being a pastor, raise your son and daughter to open up their own church, raise your son and daughter to follow Jesus Christ's teachings, regardless of what anybody else have to say. If it's not in harmony with Jesus Christ's teachings, we're not trying to go there. She doesn't have to be afraid about what's going to happen to her children if you inculcate the proper things inside your children. You have a love for Jesus Christ and Jehovah God, Yahweh, more than anything or more than anyone. And how do you get to know how Jesus Christ feels about things? You have to study. You have to read your Bible. You have to do your research. Your research, not watch others' research. I know she's afraid for her children, because this world, like I said, is a jungle, baby. But like I said, thanks to Jehovah God, I went in as a kitten. And I like to say, before prayer, I was a kitten while I was out there in the jungle. But after prayer, honey, I came out a lion. And we all know that a lion is the king and the queen of the jungle. So her kids, they're going to be okay. They're going to be okay. I understand what she's feeling as a parent. She's afraid. She don't want her children hurt. No parent who loves their children want that for their kids. So what you have to do is you have to raise your children to be God-fearing. God-fearing, nah. If Jesus ain't down with that nonsense, I'm not down with it. And that's the end of that. Because even though I'm not dealing with Jehovah's Witnesses anymore, all I hang out with, Tubies, are people who are on Jesus Christ's team. If you're on Satan's team, because there's only two teams you could be on. There's only two tables. You're going to either sit at Satan's table or you're going to sit at Jehovah and Jesus' table. Now, you got people who are out here who believe in the Trinity and they got false teaching, but Jehovah's Witnesses got hundreds of false teachings. The church, they have 2 or 3 false teachings, but they're not destroying families. They're not destroying families. They're not killing people with their policies. They're not busting up marriages. They're not ruining relationships, and I'm talking about friendships. These other religions the Catholics, these Jehovah's Witnesses came down on Catholics like you ain't never seen, man. It was like that was their freaking nemesis. They treated them like they was their nemesis, like really. And I know everybody who leave this organization be like, why would I leave? Where else am I going to go? You're going to go to the Church of Christ. Anybody who's following Jesus Christ's teachings, that is the Church of Christ. Me personally, I found a non-denominational. 1510 Central Avenue, Sunday at freaking 10 o'clock, 2nd floor, I believe it is. It's not even in a church. All they do is study the Bible and love each other and look out for each other and just nice. You wouldn't even believe it. I invite my son and my daughter to come to 1510 Central Avenue. Do you think they're ever going to show up? That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen because they're so afraid of governing body. They're afraid of elders and overseers. They're not God-fearing. They don't give a damn about Jesus Christ. Because if they did, they would come to 1510 Central Avenue, 2nd floor. I dare them on Sunday. They're not going to do that because they don't care about the truth. They don't care about what's right and they don't care about what's wrong. Anyway, let's get back to when you don't obey your parents, check out what happens. Yeah, you want to give your parents your ass to kiss? Okay, God could do everything except for lie. Let's check this out.
inside a prison cell at the age of 14.
He shot a star football player and two other students at his high school, and he was convicted of second-degree murder.
He serves 5 years in a maximum security facility until his release shortly after his 19th birthday. But despite the red flags waving at her, Leslie's in too deep with Michael and doesn't let his sordid past waver her feelings for him.
Michael was her dream guy. She didn't care about his bad ways.
Women who fall in love with bad boys quite often are attracted to the excitement of that kind of an individual who goes against the rules. A lot of the time, it's about the allure and mystery of that kind of an individual.
But a few months in, when the honeymoon phase is over, Leslie sees
Our passion has
let his sordid past waver her feelings for him.
Michael was her dream guy. She didn't care about his bad ways.
Women who fall in love with bad boys quite often are attracted to the excitement of that kind of an individual who goes against the rules. A lot of the time, it's about the allure and mystery of that kind of an individual.
But a few months in, when the honeymoon phase is over, Leslie sees his true colors.
Where have you been?
Why you asking me questions?
Where have you been? You've been
She
gone.
found out, pretty fast that he had a temper.
Michael's temper would get the best of him, which pretty much led to angry outbursts.
Sometimes a woman finds it very difficult to break out of a tumultuous relationship.
But I want my tubies to have noticed that you saw how she saw his temper, the way he raised his hand at her and she had to duck to protect herself, even though he didn't hit her. I keep telling my tubies, the first time some dude or even some woman put their hand on you, it should be the last time. It should be the last time. If they're going to hit me, you better make it good, nigga. You better make it fucking good. That should be the last time. The first time some woman or some man cheat on you, that's cutthroat. That's called stabbing you in your back. It's called betrayal. The first time they do that crap to you, it should be the last time. Because you're going to end it. You know how it's the first time, so they're going to apologize and they're going to be like, I'm sorry, just give me another chance. I was going through something. I'm willing to go into treatment and I'll do whatever you ask and all the above. And you always say no, 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 because that person is violent. That person have issues that you don't know. What you do is you say, you know what? I understand that you may have had some childhood trauma or whatever the hell you went through, dude. So do me a favor. You love me. You want me to think about it, at least give it a thought. Give me some time away from you. And you get some counseling, dude. Because, no. And then you break away. Block him on your phone. Block him on your social media. Block her. Block him. Every freaking body who's violent like that. You don't need that. The first time they put their hand on you. And I told my daughter that. Is she with a dude who put his hands on her? Yep. Did he put his hands on her once? Or no, he didn't. I know about 2 occasions myself. I'm not even counting the other times. Her baby daddy, whatever the hell, Monty, I want to hurt that nigga. Oh, man. Please. You know how hard it is for a parent to be able to F up a nigga for hurting your children, and I have to put a stop on myself because I'm supposed to be living a Christian lifestyle? That Jehovah Witness thing, man, stopped me from hurting that nigga. Because I still could have been a non-denominational and do some damage on that clown. And that Musa too. You sit here, you hurt my daughter the way that you hurt my daughter? Really? Yeah, okay. And I be praying every day. Yeah, I want Jehovah God to avenge my daughter. And the way these characters hurt my son, that's hard for a parent to sit back and put up with that. Because let me tell you something. One thing I love about Italians. You hurt my family, and I'm going to hurt you. You hurt my family one time, baby. You only have one time to hurt my family. And I'm going to bust you up so bad, you will always think twice before you even think to consider hurting my family. Especially you put your fucking hands on my daughter. Really? But me, trying to be a Jehovah's Witness, you know how that goes in a Christian. Because, honey, I would have did some damage to that Monty and that Musa MFer. Monty and Musa, and this other character that hurt my son who was in a situation where he had got stabbed and and he was trying to hide it from me, but I saw how they stabbed my son. And do you think that if I was not a Jehovah's Witness, I would not have handled that? Especially when I have Dale? Dale is the guy that you see when you look at my videos, you see I have a ring on my finger. He tries to protect me to make me look married. He's Italian, sweetheart. I don't have to put up with none of this nonsense. My children don't have to put up with none of this nonsense. But me trying to be a Christian, nah, man, freak this nonsense. That's hard for a parent to do, to just have to stand by. And because your children are hard-headed, they don't listen to you. At the same time, you realize that they're not perfect either. They're going to mess up. I don't want to say F up. They're going to mess up. And in the process of them messing up, okay, you're entitled to that. But for the person that decided to put their hand on you, we have to teach them lessons. Lessons have got to be done. And trust me when I tell you, honey, do I have some backup? Oh, I got some backup. But my backup, they're not coming to talk. They're not coming to talk, which is why I don't tell them things. I don't tell them things. I just don't. I don't, because then I'm gonna be blood guilty.
No one owns the sun.
I'm gonna be blood guilty with whatever they do to these people. Then I have to lose sleep, and I have to stand before Jehovah God and Jesus Christ. But for the way these clowns have touched my daughter, and you hurt my son the way that you did, really? Yeah, all right. I'm working this Christ-like thing, man. I'm working like hell. Put your hand on my daughter again. I dare your fucking ass.
Because she's hoping that the endearing qualities of that individual may one day come back again.
To make up for his transgressions, Michael invites Leslie to a romantic weekend at a resort just outside of Detroit.
I think she was hoping that this weekend would be a defining moment in their relation.
Okay, we're going to go on part 2, love bombing part 2, because this is already, 37 minutes? Yeah, that's 37 minutes. And I don't want to risk losing everything. I'll see you on the other side. This is Sheila True Love. You know how much I love you. I'll see you on the other side. And remember, you always have a choice. That's what life is all about, making choices. You always have a choice, honey. The first time somebody put their hand on you, that's the last time. The first time somebody cheat on you and do cutthroat on you and betray you and stab you in your back, that should be the last time. I'll see you on the other side. I love you.